What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success, and in this video here, what I'm going to do is show you some absolutely mind-blasting examples of how important social proof is inside of your clothing brand, okay? This episode is going to absolutely open up your mind and give you a much more deeper awareness to the underlying mechanisms that are at play that give your brand more value and allow you to make sales. Right now, you probably think that the designs that are going onto your t-shirts and the way that your t-shirts look are way more important than they actually are, okay? And I'm about to give you some incredible examples that really prove this statement, all right? For my own clothing brand, when we first started, we came out with those two designs right there, all right? And we had really no followers on our Instagram account, and we hadn't had our clothing worn by any celebrities at all. Not only that, but we really hadn't been able to make any sales online to people that we didn't know. Scale ahead 6 months forward, and we get our clothing worn by Classified and a couple of other celebrities, and we've able through hustling just to raise our Instagram followers. Now, all of a sudden, since we've gotten our clothing worn by celebrities, and since we've raised our follower count on Instagram, all of a sudden, these designs start selling a bit. We actually sold out of both of the t-shirts for those designs. Now, let me make this clear. Both of these shirts didn't change at all. We printed the original shirt the exact same way, okay? It's the exact same shirt that when we first started up with no followers, people would see it and they didn't really want it. And now all of a sudden we scale forward, the exact same shirt that wasn't selling originally is now selling. What's going on there? What are the underlying mechanisms at play? Well, clearly it's not just about the design, okay? The design has way less importance than the other things that are going beneath the surface that are really contributing to how people are viewing the brand and what actually gives the brand value. This is proof that there are deeper mechanisms at play when it comes to how to actually add value to your clothing brand, okay, that go much deeper than just the surface layer creating a nice design or creating a nice logo. You can have an incredibly designed shirt, okay, like even better than Nike's designs, like probably the best made design in the world, and put it onto a shirt and try to sell it on an Instagram account that has no followers and nobody's ever heard of you, and it will still be really, really, really difficult to make sales, all right? And this is just a fact. So I'm just trying to prove to you and show you a different way of thinking that goes deeper than just the way that your brand looks and just the design. And I really want to really bring out and show you that there are these deeper things that are going on with your clothing brand. Now, not every clothing brand needs to introduce, all of these underlying mechanisms and worry about all these things, because people like celebrities and famous people who come out with a clothing brand, when they come out with a clothing brand, they already have the social proof established. They already have people who look up to them. They already have a lot of followers on Instagram and a big audience to sell to that look up to them. And basically, what they do when they launch a clothing brand, they don't need to worry about this, because what they're doing is they're pushing out these little subtle traits, these little subtle mechanisms of social proof naturally, okay? They don't need to worry about it. But since we're starting from the ground up and we don't have all of these things at play, it's really important that you learn exactly how to put these things in play for your own clothing brand, okay? Because this is going to give you such an absolutely massive advantage in terms of actually creating something that's successful. Now, wouldn't it just be so nice if you could draw up these sick designs and put them up on the internet? And just because those designs are so sick, millions of people will come to your website and buy your product. Wouldn't that just be amazing? It would, but unfortunately, that's not the way that the world works, okay? And the reality is that you can come out with a pretty decent shirt, okay, with like just a little decent design on it. And as long as you're able to convince people that your movement is strong, powerful, and that your movement and your clothing brand and the values that you represent are the shit, millions of people will buy them anyways, okay? And that's really what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to build your clothing brand into something that has social proof, where people really, really just want it because of the social aspect of it and not just because the design is objectively really good or aesthetic. Now, when I talk about social proof and all of these little underlying mechanisms that are at play in order for you to add enough value into your clothing brand so that people actually want to buy your clothing, it might sound like it's really complicated, but in reality, it's actually really simple, okay? And especially using social media, you can do an absolutely amazing job gaining the social proof that you need just on social media and through hard work and through hustle to actually build this value that you need for people to actually want to buy your clothing, okay? So one of the things that you can do is you can really focus on gaining more followers on Instagram, okay? Because this is really going to affect the way that people perceive your clothing brand. If it looks like a lot of people are already really interested in your brand and you actually already have a lot of people interested in your brand, it's way easier for people to see the value that is in your clothing brand. Another thing that you can do through a lot of hard work and hustle is message celebrities that are in your niche that will be super aligned with your clothing brand and land celebrity endorsements, okay? It's not easy for me to go about landing celebrity endorsements, yet when you put in enough work and you really hustle at it, you'll eventually land one, okay? And when you land that one, all of a sudden your brand has so much more value to people. You'll make sales, and then it becomes easier to land your second one, okay? So at the beginning, I recognize that it is super hard to get the ball rolling and to really get that spark that you need in order for your clothing brand to take off. But the reality is that it's going to take a lot of hard work, and you really just need to hustle your clothing brand's way to actually having the social proof that you need, to building your social media following by just working it as hard as you can and getting those celebrity endorsements. And you'll slowly realize that, holy crap, my brand is actually cool, okay? People are actually buying this brand, and I'm actually starting to create a real movement. I really hope that this video rattled your brain a bit and it got you to see the actual importance of underlying these mechanisms and how it adds more value to your clothing brand and makes it easier for you to make sales. If you've made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have going on for apparel success. There's a link in the description below. Follow that link, join us in the group. We're a bunch of clothing brand owners all in there to support each other and answer each other's questions. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.